नरेंद्र मोदी 25 लोकसभा सीट के कारण प्रधानमंत्री हैं। अब एविडेंस है, ये क्रिमिनल एविडेंस है, तो दे आर कल्यूडिंग विद द बीजेपी, दे आर हेल्पिंग द बीजेपी डिस्ट्रॉय द इलेक्शन सिस्टम।
Dear viewers, picture this. You hire a security guard to protect your house. You come home and find him helping burglars load your TV into their van. You shout at him and he says, "Please fill out an official burglary confirmation form before I check if these men are real burglars." Sounds absurd, right? That's pretty much the Election Commission of India's playbook right now. On August 7th, Rahul Gandhi dropped what he called his atom bomb. Allegations that over a lakh fraudulent votes were hiding in plain sight in just one Karnataka constituency. Not random errors, not the odd typo, but a pattern so big it could flip entire results. This isn't about whether you cheer for Rahul Gandhi or curse his politics. This is about what happens when the referee of our democracy, the one meant to keep the game fair, is accused of quietly tilting the scoreboard. And instead of sprinting over to check, the referee asks the player to swear an oath saying the scoreboard is wrong before even glancing at it. Welcome to Honest Take with me Tejas, and before we pull this mess apart, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon because you are not going to want to miss what comes next. Rahul Gandhi says his 40-member Congress team spent 6 months combing through voter rolls in Mahadevapura Assembly constituency, Karnataka, and found 1,250 fraudulent votes out of 6,50,000 total. That's 15.4%. We are not talking about a few typos. If this number holds, it means every sixth vote in that constituency was allegedly fake, duplicated, or tied to a phantom address. And it wasn't random scatter. Gandhi claims this was targeted in precisely the segment where the BJP lead was big enough to flip the entire Bangalore Central Lok Sabha result. If true, this isn't just electoral malpractice, it's a surgical strike, not on a political opponent, but on the idea of free and fair elections itself. Let's first take a look at the 5 flavors of fraud. Let's break these down the way Gandhi's team did. Number 1. Duplicate voters, 11,965 cases. This one is basic. The same person registered multiple times, sometimes even in different states. Example, Gurkirat Singh Dang, allegedly appearing 4 times in 4 different polling booths in Mahadevapura. In some cases, the same voter ID, identical epic numbers, shows up in rolls in Karnataka, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. Now, mistakes happen, people move, voter lists don't always get updated, names get misspelled. But the allegations here isn't about occasional overlap. It's thousands of duplicates flagged from ECI's own data. ECI's response to this? They debunked a couple of names from Uttar Pradesh, said those voters did not exist in UP rolls. Fair, but they did not produce a clean counter list for Karnataka cases Gandhi named, which raises the obvious question. If you can check 2 names in a day, why not all 11,965? Number 2. Fake and invalid addresses, 40,009 cases. Here is where things get absurd. Voter rolls showing people living at addresses like house number 0 or with father names DFOI, GOID. Gandhi says his team physically verified these addresses, found empty plots, non-existent houses, or just total fiction. And here is the thing. Bangalore's urban chaos might make address verification tricky, but we are not talking about house number changed after redevelopment. We are talking about voters who apparently live in imaginary houses or in entries that look like someone's cat walked over the keyboard. ECI's response? Silence. Not a word about why such addresses exist, whether they have been purged, or whether this is just normal state of India's voter database. Number 3. Bulk registrations at single addresses, 10,452 cases. 80 voters in one room house, 46 in another, 68 registered at a brewery called 153 Biaf Club. Gandhi showed photos of these locations. No sign that 80 mattresses were stacked to the ceiling. No sign of voters queuing for the brewery's bathroom. If this is true, it's not an error. It's industrial scale padding. ECI's response? Again, nothing direct. They could have sent someone to these addresses the same day, verified, cleared the air. Instead, procedural letters. Number 4. Invalid photos, 4,132 cases. Some voter IDs have pictures so tiny you would need a microscope to recognize anyone. Some are blank, some are just blurs. Why does this matter? Because at the polling booth, identity verification depends on the roll photo matching your face. If the photo is useless, it's a wide open gate for impersonation. ECI's response: no comment on photo quality standards, no plan to update them. Number 5. Misuse of Form 6. 33,692 cases. Form 6 is meant for new voters aged 18 to 23. Gandhi says septuagenarians or octogenarians were registered as first-timers. Case in point, Shakun Rani, allegedly 70 years old, registered twice within 2 months, allegedly voted twice. That's not a clerical error. That's either willful fraud or a horribly broken registration process. ECI's response: zero on the specifics. Along with these allegations, there were several other issues raised by Gandhi. Gandhi alleges that CCTV footage from polling stations was destroyed before complaints could be investigated, citing Maharashtra assembly elections where voting spiked mysteriously after 5:30 pm. The ECI doesn't directly deny destroying footage, just doesn't address it at all. The other issue is non-machine readable data. Congress says they asked for digital voter lists. The ECI gave them physical stacks of paper. No OCR possible on this, which means a task that could take 30 seconds with a computer took them 6 months of manual work. This is either willful obstruction or spectacular backwardness. Neither inspires confidence in EC. Now the ECI didn't take this lying down. Chief Electoral Officers of Karnataka, Maharashtra and Haryana sent letters the same day citing Rule 23B of the Registration of Electors Rules 1960. Translation: put it under oath, give us the names, part numbers, serial numbers, and do it by tonight. They even reminded Gandhi that false declarations could mean up to 7 years in prison under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita plus a year under the Representation of the People Act. They also pointed out draft and final rules were shared in November 2024 and January 2025. No formal objections came from Congress at that time. 60,000 booth agents from opposition parties were present. None complained. If you want to challenge election results, file a petition in court. Press conferences don't count. And for good measure, they called the allegations absurd, misleading, and baseless. But there is a problem with ECI's defense. Even if every word of their procedural defense is true, it doesn't answer the actual accusation. Did 68 voters registered at a brewery? Did house number 0 appear on the rolls? Did Gurkirat Singh Dang exist 4 times in the database? Were 33,000 Form 6 entries there for senior citizens? The ECI's public response sidesteps these. They fact-checked a few Uttar Pradesh names, but on the most eyebrow-raising details, it's radio silence, and that silence is deafening. There are 2 possible explanations. 1. This is deliberate manipulation, fraud across multiple categories, concentrated where it swings results, non-digital roles and CCTV destruction as cover. And 2. This is incompetence, an overburdened paper-heavy bureaucracy that lets errors pile up until they look like fraud. Either way, it's a crisis for our country. Why this issue is big and stakes are high? Take example of Mahadevapura. Mahadevapura isn't just a random seat. In Bangalore Central, Congress led in 6 out of 7 assembly segments, but the BJP's 1,14,046 vote lead in Mahadevapura flipped the entire Lok Sabha constituency by 32,707 votes. If those over 1 lakh questionable votes in Mahadevapura were decisive, that's not democracy. That's a charade in the name of elections. If the commission wanted to protect its credibility, the playbook was simple. Acknowledge the seriousness, announce immediate verification of the specific addresses and names, publish findings publicly within days. Instead, they went full bureaucracy. Submit Form X within deadline Y or face penalty Z, which might be legally proper, but politically, it makes them look like they would rather guard their processes than their legitimacy. Whether you believe Gandhi or not, here is the uncomfortable truth. If a political party can make allegations this detailed and the ECI's first instinct isn't to urgently publicly verify them, then confidence in elections will erode. And when citizens stop believing their vote counts, democracy rots from the inside. So dear viewers, ask yourself, if the Election Commission is the referee, shouldn't it run to check the scoreboard the second someone screams foul? Or is it enough to just wave the rule book in the air and tell the players to file a complaint later? Because if our voter rolls are this vulnerable to fraud or to incompetence, how many elections have already been decided not by us, the people, but by what's written on paper? I will leave you with that to ponder upon. That's all on today's Honest Take with me, Tejas. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never stop asking tough questions.